Farm Broadcasting. I'm here with Austin Swing, Bedford County Sheriff, and we're going to go over some of the details, some of the stats from last month, and then we're going to also talk about another topic that's real serious. And Sheriff, go ahead and tell us a little bit about the stats for this past month.
Okay, Benny, thank you. Of course, as always, I'm giving last month's stats, which obviously was April. And with that being said, the Bedford County Sheriff's Department in April patrolled 78,649 miles. I think if you buy a car and you get 78,000, hopefully it's not wore out, but you're thinking, I've got a lot of miles on this car.
Yeah.
Well, this is 1 month's driving for us, and that's why we go through as many cars as we do. The total warrants that were served, 693. Total arrest, 194. Total inmates currently holding, well, that changes by the day.
Oh, yeah.
So it might be a few more or it could be a few less. But at the time this was done, 333 inmates in the Bedford County Jail and 281 that were processed through. Some of the other things we did in the month of April, and I'm not going to go over every one of them, but 375 investigations, 46 traffic accidents, 51 traffic accidents. We had 94 motorist assist, 27 non-arrest escorts, 22 that we transported that was in custody, 204 traffic stops, 64 911 calls, and a total of 753 in the month of April. At the jail. Now, we run a restaurant there, Benny.
Yeah, probably a pretty good size.
Yeah, we probably serve more people than anybody in town, I'd say.
You're right.
For the month of April, the Bedford County Sheriff's Department served 26,470 meals at the jail. Juvenile, we served 614 meals in the month of April. Our food cost was $45,568.74, and that comes up to $1.68 per meal. So it's gone up, but we're still the cheapest in town. Juvenile meal cost, what lacks about 39 cents being $1,000. Anyway, total expenditures, $45,568.74 that it costs to feed our population in the Bedford County Jail and the Bedford County Juvenile Detention Center. As you know, they're building a new one out there right next to us, and I was looking at this morning. It looks like it's really coming along.
Is it going to be on the front part of the property?
Yes.
Okay.
Right,
I thought I seen a building being built, and I wasn't sure what that was. So.
Yeah, it's actually closer up to the road than we are.
Yeah.
And, I know that's obviously a pretty big expense to us, to the county. But quite honestly, in the long run, when you look at it, and if we didn't have it, because we can't put them in the same building with the adult prisoners.
Right.
So we would have to carry them somewhere. Yeah. Cookville, maybe Murfreesboro. And every time they had, for any reason, to go to court for a hearing, anything else, we'd have to go. We'd have to send a deputy to go pick them up, bring them back, then take them back, come back. I mean, I think in the long run, it really balances out, and it sure makes it better for, I know, the Sheriff's Department, because we don't have people tied up running back and forth, and there'd be even more miles than what I'm reading now. on the cars. So I'm happy that we do have a juvenile detention center here. Not that I have anything to do with it. The mayor's actually over it. And that some people, and I mean, I wouldn't think that either. I would have thought probably it was under the sheriff's department, but it's actually under the mayor. Okay. As you know, we have the courtrooms out there in the I'm on juvenile. Judicial services and building. We're at one end. The circuit court clerk, Michelle Murray, is at the other. And everything in between is courtrooms and offices for the DA's office and different ones, the judges and all. So it's a big place. And has a lot of people. In the month of April, there was 5,012 people that came through the front doors of that building, and that doesn't even count the sheriff's department. Right. They don't count ours.
Right.
I mean, this is just for the courtrooms, and if they had to need to go down to the circuit court clerk's office. Our deputies maintained security for 44 court sessions, and there were 1,461 individual court cases. Our deputies served 30 criminal and civil warrants and took into custody 36 people in the process. This is the court division. And deputies transported 119 inmates from court holding to the courtrooms. I can't talk this morning. Nothing new about that. So, as always, that's a busy place. I think of all the statistics, I guess, that I give out, that may be the most surprising to people. That
you don't realize, of course, y'all used to be up in town, and you'd see a lot of cars parked, but when you get out there and then you see the parking lot pretty full,
Isn't it amazing?
It amazes me. It seemed like it's gotten bigger, I guess, because you do have the room to do it, and you can probably process more.
And I remember this argument at a lot of the meetings and the commission meetings and things, and people actually coming up and voicing their opinion that said, when we move the courtrooms and all out there, the square would die. There wouldn't be anybody up there.
Crowded.
Go up there right now and drive around and tell me. I mean, I believe there's more people up there now than there was, and I could understand why, too.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot more traffic.
So it didn't affect the business or anything, I don't think, as far as that goes.
And, two, I think putting it out that way, I know y'all transport a lot to Rutherford County, so it's a lot easier for y'all because you're just a couple miles from I guess probably 3 miles, 4 miles from the county line. So it makes it a lot easier to transport them over there. But you've got a pretty good, nice facility, and, it looks like it can handle whatever y'all have to do.
Yeah, the county commission and mayor and all did a really good job when they did build the jail, because instead of trying to build it as small as they could and as cheap as they could, like had been done in the past, they used foresight and where we weren't overcrowded the minute we moved in, and that was the case in the last jail. So they did a real good job of looking ahead, and it's still filling up, but
how many will it hold out there?
A little over 400. I think it's like 405 or something.
Y'all are like 330 or something like that. Yeah. So that's still, you still got pretty room.
And there's actually one, and I call it a slice of the pie, and that's what it looks like, or pizza, that could be. It's open, and it could be walled off and
made into
another pod, as we call it, which generally a pod will, depending on the size of it, hold anywhere from 20 to 50 people. So it's still, there's room to grow, and I think there's about 40 acres, maybe 38 acres or something.
It's a big property, and lots of parking out front. And that juvenile detention center, that's something y'all been needing for a while.
Oh yeah, it's as I say, it's really it's a help to us, and as I'll say, the good part is it's under the mayor.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, you want to go ahead and we'll get started on this new topic, but before we got about maybe 2 or 3 minutes before we take our first break. But one of the things that we talked about, me and you talked about earlier, is cell phone and what a distraction they are.
Yeah, a lot of them.
So give us a little bit about what you got going on with that.
Okay. Well, the evolution of the cell phone from the telephone has not only revolutionized technology, but created situations where our phones are more important than our driving. And I'll bet if everybody was honest, there's very few, if anybody, alive that has a cell phone and has driven that wasn't guilty of that.
Oh, you got it.
Me and you probably only two. It's not
you're right. Yeah, and I'm glad they invented Bluetooth. So if you do talk, you got your hands on the wheel. But I've done this, and I know you probably have too. You'll be talking to somebody, you got a particular place you got to go, and you're on Bluetooth, and you're talking to them, and you talk to them, you pass right by where you're going. And you go,
even that.
Yeah, and you talk about distraction. Well, guess what? I'm talking on Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I still got distracted because I was talking to them, and I passed right by my exit.
Absolutely. There's actually, and I know this is nationwide, but there's thousands of drivers and pedestrians and cyclists, like on bicycles, and tow operators and others that have been killed because of
people being on cell phone.
Yeah, being on their phone, just distracted from actually driving. There's been a lot of them. The data indicates that distracted drivers account for about 20% of the deaths of pedestrians, cyclists, and others alongside the road. Well, 20% is a lot, for just one thing to be causing that. And it's just... I don't know. I had a guy tell me one time, I didn't totally agree with him, but sometimes things like this makes me think, and this was when I was chief of police, but he said the human mind really can't, we talk about multitasking, and we've all done it, but to say your brain is really only focused on one thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
you're right.
The rest of it's just automatic, right. And so I guess that maybe is something to prove his point. Often we don't know, distractive driving is actual reason someone is killed, and people won't admit they were on their phone. Now, I know if it's brought, you can go into somebody's cell phone and tell that.
Tell the time and everything.
There's probably a lot of times that hasn't been done.
Right.
And it's probably happened more than what the stats are saying.
Yeah. Well, Austin, I tell you what, we're going to take our first break. Chase, if you'll take us to our break, and we'll be right back.
Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of 5-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Online at kincaidservice.com. Your eyes are a precious thing. You've got to take care of them. Looking for clear vision and hometown care you can trust? See the difference at Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care, 605 North Main Street in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. From comprehensive eye exams to helping you find that perfect pair of glasses, Dr. Hasty and his friendly team are focused on your family's vision and comfort every step of the way. Noticing changes in your eyesight? Time for that yearly checkup? Let's take care of it. 931-684-2020. Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care, because your eyes are a precious thing.
This is Benny Pulley, behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting, here with Sheriff Austin Swing, Bedford County Sheriff, and we're talking about the cell phone. And now I know we do, and I see it all the time, and I know you do too. And now I know y'all can pull them over if you see them using it. But texting, that seems to be a big problem.
It is, in my opinion. even worse than talking. As we were talking a while ago, I know there's some people that can text without looking, but there's a lot of people that can't. And either way, you're distracted from your driving. If someone is reading a text or sending one, and this is kind of, I wouldn't have thought about it like this, right. But it's going to take 5 seconds at least. Well, as we talked a while ago, if I'm texting, it's going to take a lot longer. But if it does only take 5 seconds, at 55 miles an hour, which is highway speed and legal speed, right. Usually, at 55 miles an hour, you will travel the length of a football field.
So 100 yards.
That's a lot of distance. Yeah. If somebody's walking down the side of the road, or if you happen to veer across the road, I mean, a football field is a lot of distance.
Oh, yeah. And the thing about it is, and I used to travel because I did real estate, I still do, but I was go to Murfreesboro, and on the way back, I think it was 2018, 2019, I was traveling to Murfreesboro a lot, and I think I counted 5 times that I had to take the emergency lane because somebody's on their cell phone, not paying attention, run into my lane, and I didn't have nowhere to go but the emergency lane.
That's scary.
It is. And a couple of times I pulled over because, you talk about road rage.
Yeah.
I had to pull over and calm myself down because you just want to go take that phone, rip it out of their hands, It's just like, whew, man, y'all like to got me killed, people don't realize that.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
This is no proven statistic or anything. This is just me. Uh-huh. But I swear, if there was 2 cars sitting there with 2 drivers, and they said, now one's going to be drinking, the other's going to be texting, who do you want to get in the car with? I'd get in the guy driver drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he may, obviously, his reflexes and everything else are going to be
a little slower to respond.
Very much so. But usually is looking.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you might as well, if they're texting, you might as well blindfold them and say, take off,
Yeah, and I mean, you can tell usually because if you're falling behind a couple of cars and you see this one here going toward the lane, in and out, he's going to the center lane, and he goes over to the side, you know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're either on the phone talking or they're texting.
And I'll tell you something else, and this doesn't have anything to do with, I guess, the safety part of driving or whatever, but I was telling somebody the other day as a police officer, I said, if you drove by particularly a store or something like that, and you saw somebody sitting in a car and their head was bent over, good chance they possibly were drunk or drinking, or they were either really tired and have gone to sleep. Well, that's not the case anymore. Now they're either on their phone or texting, or they're doing scratch-offs.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen that happen.
They're bent over like that. It's kind of, I don't know, it's a changing world.
Yeah. So I know we've talked about texting, using the cell phone and all, but there's other distractions too, so give us a little bit about that.
Well, they call it manual distractions, and that could be eating, drinking, hands off the steering wheel, anything like that. And that's true, too. I mean, a lot of people, and now I'm guilty of a lot of things, but I just don't eat in my car very seldom. If you see me eating in a car, I was either really hungry or didn't have any other choice or something. Yeah. But they'll lay their food down beside them, and so do I want a bite of this or that? And you take your eyes off the road. So just manual distractions always been a dangerous thing. Visual distractions, looking at your GPS or watching movies. Put the movie in for the kids, and you're sitting there.
You're sitting there looking over, watching it.
I like this part.
Yeah.
The newspaper. Now I know newspapers about a thing of the past, but this has been quite a few years ago. There was myself, Chief Jan Phillips, and Deputy Chief Mike Rogers. We're going to, I think, the police academy. We're on I-24, and there was this it sounded like it was a helicopter. Our vehicle just really started making this noise like a blop, 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 like that. It turns out we had a blowout. Of course, this all happened in a split second.
Right.
But, I mean, and I'll never forget, this picture has been in my mind ever since. As I looked down, because there was a guy right beside us in a car, and he was driving. Now, this was on I-24, and had the newspaper in front of him. And of course, about that time, he threw the newspaper up because our car's going fishtailing. But I'll never forget that, looking down and seeing that guy. I thought, golly, who reads the newspaper driving down the interstate?
Yeah.
Now, it was bad then. If he did it now, I'd say it would be called a death wish.
Oh, yeah. I've seen when I've been like road trips going to out of state or something, I've seen people reading their books. And I'm going, how can you read a book and watch the road? You're going at 65, 75 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And do you not think, you're not using your head?
That 5 seconds we was talking about, look how far they go.
Oh, yeah.
Before they look back up to the road.
I'd put a CD in and listen to the CD before I try to read.
Just let your ears
let my ears hear. Yeah, there you go. Oh, man.
Well, now here's one. Grooming. Have you ever been behind you? Now, I'm sorry, ladies, but they're putting on their makeup.
I said every morning coming in here, they'll be putting their lipstick on or their mascara. You're sitting there looking in the mirror here, driving and putting their mascara on. I'm going, okay.
Now, in their defense, usually when I've noticed that, they were sitting at a red light.
Yeah.
But still, it is distractive driving. But still, overall, number one is our beloved cell phones.
No, ain't no doubt.
Without a doubt, it's by far the most. It's nowadays it's a computer. It's not just phones, just a sideline for it. It's computer. Do anything that your computer at home will do, and it's just. As I've said many times, I hope he's not listening, but Chief Jan Phillips, I'll give him credit. He said, people do not take driving seriously.
Yeah.
And that's true.
That is true. Yeah, because, I mean, you get in, you see them, like you said, eating, doing all this stuff and doing the texting, reading books, and all this stuff, and you're going, what in the world? And especially when, like you said, the kids will have a thing back here that on the back of the seats they can watch TV, but then the parents have one up here, and you're going, he's watching. Whoever's driving is watching it. You can't, anything like that's distracting.
Human nature.
Yeah, you're just going to go look, you have to do it. And then, but, another thing too, and of course we're in the radio business, but music sometimes is so loud you can't hear the sirens. Like, I'll have mine on. I try to set mine about 10, which is not real loud. But I'll hear something, I'm thinking, is that in the music? And I'll cut the thing down. I said, no, that's a fire truck, or that's a police car. So I'll turn it down to where I can hear where they're coming from, because you hear the siren, but sometimes you can't pick the sound where it's coming from, and you got to be prepared, because they're going to cut through wherever they need to. So.
Right. Young people, if you're looking for a future career, hearing aids.
Yeah.
Because there is no way some of these, and they're usually younger people, that the whole car's vibrating. There's no way they're going to be able to hear in just a few years.
No, that's true. It's if you put out so many decibels, it's going to ruin your hearing. That's for sure. Now, another thing too is what I call rubbernecking.
Yes. Yeah.
They see an accident, they're going,
oh God.
Or if it's on this side of the road and they're having to look and they're turning their head, they want to see what's going on,
And it takes, if everybody, and usually everybody does do it, again, I guess, quote, human nature, but traffic could move by it so much better if everybody would just go on.
Because they'll be looking at something when they should be, because the officer might be telling them, come on, and they're sitting there looking at the...
Been there, done that. You're sitting there going...
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I tell you, cell phones and the iPads and all the stuff that they've got are a distraction for drivers. And two, eating can be a big distraction. I know we talked about it a little bit, but if I have to get something, I'm hungry. Usually it'll be like chicken nuggets, something. I'm not getting a bunch. I can reach down. I know where the box is. I reach down and get one to eat it.
Don't get a Big Mac.
Yeah, because if you get a sandwich, you're having to hold the steering wheel and try to eat, and it's getting all over your shirt and everything else.
Oh, and I tell you, that's the main reason I don't eat in a vehicle, because I'm going to get it all in the car, crumbs or whatever, and probably all over me. And I hate to admit it, but I'm such a sloppy eater that I just don't need to be eating in the car, even if it's sitting still, much less with moving.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So what advice would you give people today when they're driving?
Just, I think a while ago that example is take driving seriously. And I'll tell myself that a lot of times. I know I'm just going from point A to point B that I've probably done 10,000 times. Yeah. But, still, this is a new trip, and anything could happen. And if you will take your driving seriously and let everything else come second place, I mean, as you and I both have heard them say on TV and other things, if it's that important, pull over. Yeah. And I've seen people do that.
I have done that. Yeah. If it's an important call and you need to talk, I just pull over.
And, like what you were talking about a while ago when you got upset and pulled over, one of the rules or parts of our training and EVOC training, which is, driving your patrol car in an emergency situations and all. But one of them is if you are involved in a pursuit and it gets called off by your supervisor, or you decide that it's not worth it, or whatever the reason might be, pull over. This is for the officer. Yeah. Pull over, obviously turn off your blue lights and all sirens and all that, and sit there for a few minutes, and because your adrenaline
is rushing,
is flowing, your pupils have, everything's just screwed up, so it kind of lets your body and your mind, even more importantly, get a little bit back to normal. Yeah. And so I think just getting back to your advice is take your driving seriously.
Oh, yeah, because, when, you see a lot of Nashville, especially the road rage, and I know we've had one or two around here somewhere, but most of the time it's in Nashville area, and you're thinking, why did you do that? Or, they'll pull out their gun or whatever, and you're thinking, that was stupid, to yourself. The best thing to do is, just pull over. Yeah. Just sit there and calm yourself down, because ain't nothing you can do about it. Right. Unless now, if they were driving erratically or something like that, you can call the operator, 911 dispatcher, whatever, and tell them, report it. I know one night I was leaving here. It was on a Thursday night. I was headed home. I was going down in front of the distillery to Uncle Near's. So I'm going down through there, and I see lights, but they're not on this side of the road. They're on my side of the road.
Never a good thing.
And I looked, I said, gosh, they're on my side of the road. So I pulled over into the emergency lane. They wouldn't by me. And I flashed my lights at them several times. And I just picked up the phone and called dispatch. I said, look, I'm out here. They're headed down the wrong way. I'm afraid somebody's going to get hurt. Yeah. And so I don't know whether they ever called them or what. But, people sometimes, if you know what I'm talking about, in the media, they'll say, do not enter because it's going the opposite direction, And, you just have to watch. And you got to be the defensive driver. Really, to keep yourself safe.
You really do, and I mean, I appreciate the fact that you did what you said, because, as you say, the officers may never they may be here, there, and everywhere, right, but where you are, and not get there and not catch the guy or person or whatever, but you could save somebody's life too.
Yeah, that's the key,
and possibly theirs.
Yeah, that's the key. I thought, first thing I thought was just blink my lights. Maybe they would realize they were on the wrong side of the road, but they just kept on going. I'm going, okay, I better call the sheriff. Because now, how far, I know y'all cover the whole county, but now the police department, they go out to 82. Is that about where they stop on the city part?
Yeah,
but they can't assist anywhere.
Pretty much. Oh yeah. I mean,
y'all work good together.
We do, and the officers, and even more so, I think the night shift officers. It's almost like they're one unit out there.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean that like the cities in Beech Grove,
right? Yeah, I know.
But if a county officer needed help, I have no doubt
city would be there.
Yeah, they would if he needed them. Because as you and I were talking about, if we being the sheriff's department, let's say we got 2 deputies out there and one's in Wheel and the other in Beech Grove, they're not going to be much help to each other. I don't care how fast they drive or whatever. It's a long way.
Yeah, and sometimes you just, the officer, just a few minutes, they got maybe 3 or 5 minutes to try to get the situation under control. And if they got backup, it's hard.
That's right.
Yeah, and so if a city officer can respond, that'd be great. Well, Sheriff, anything else you'd like to say before we dismiss out?
I think we covered it, Benny.
All right, sounds good. This is Benny Pulley, behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting, here with Sheriff Austin Swing, and we're going to send it back to you, Chase. Hope you all have a good day.
Your eyes are a precious thing. You've got to take care of them. Looking for clear vision and hometown care you can trust? See the difference at Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care, 605 North Main Street in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. From comprehensive eye exams to helping you find that perfect pair of glasses, Dr. Hasty and his friendly team are focused on your family's vision and comfort every step of the way. Noticing changes in your eyesight? Time for that yearly checkup? Let's take care of it. 931-684-2020. Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care, because your eyes are a precious thing.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool, and triple-stranded pocketed coils give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company, 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station, 931-684-5662.
Classic country you won't hear anywhere else. We're not scared to play the good stuff.
Where can I get more of these?
Good things come to those who wait.
WLIJ